Thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about in moving through the energy of the sacral chakra, the second chakra. This is all about the energy of creativity, personal growth, movement, flow. So we're going to go through a short sequence to get your hips opened up. Since the sacral chakra energy center is located about 2 inches below your belly button. So we're going to open up that whole space, and I want you to tap into your own creative energy and do what feels good in your body as we move through today's flow. So join me on the mat, grab your blocks and strap if you need that. And we're going to start in child's pose. So come to your mat on hands and knees, taking the toes touching but the knees separated. Extend your arms in front of you. And you can let your forehead come to the mat if that's available to you, or you can take a block under your forehead to let it rest. And just begin to move your hips from side to side. Just trying to open up the low back. Your arms can either be extended or in a diamond shape. Bring this hip movement to a stop. Stretch your arms out, pressing a little bit into the mat, and walk your hands off the left side of the mat, reaching both arms away from you and trying to get a nice stretch in your side body. Breathing into your back. And walk your hands to the middle and then off the mat to the opposite side. Again, stretching through both arms. Take a nice big inhale and exhale here a couple of times, breathing into your back and trying to feel the sides of the waist get wider. And then come back to the center. Press up onto all fours for cat-cow as we continue with some movement and the breath. Inhale, lift your chest, take your gaze forward, and tailbone to the ceiling. And exhale, round your back like an angry cat. Inhale, wide collarbones, look straight ahead. You have a little arch in your back. And as you exhale, the tailbone drops between your heels, crown of the head reaches for the mat. Again, inhale as you go forward. Abdominals are firm and shoulder blades are away from your ears. Exhale, push the mat away and round your back. A couple more on your own breath. Just find your movement and what feels good in your body this morning or this afternoon. Lift and exhale. This is your last. And after you round your back, get a nice stretch, maybe press your hips a little bit closer to your heels, still trying to stretch the low back. Keeping your back round, if it feels good, bring your hips into a circular motion. Right? I want you to just tap into whatever movement feels good in your body today. And try to send your breath into your low back. And if you're circling your hips, maybe you go the other way. Just reverse. Yeah, just make it nice and light and easy. And just creating more spaciousness in your hip area. Bring that to a stop, coming back into your center where wrists are right underneath your shoulders again. From here, tuck your toes under and press back for down dog. Pedal your feet. And keep your spine nice and long. So you're sending your tailbone and your sit bones up for where the ceiling meets your wall. Lift both heels up. Lift your leg and step forward, dropping the back knee to the mat. Toes are flat. Staying here in a low lunge. You can have your blocks if you would like under your hands. Keep your abdominals off your front thigh. And bring your hands up to your thigh. Lifting your back and spine nice and tall. Abdominals are firm. And feeling a big stretch on the front of your left hip. Breathing here. One more breath, and then bring your hands back to your mat or blocks. From here, spiral your chest open towards your leg, lifting your arm to the ceiling, and the hand that's on the floor pushing the mat away. Breathing here. And bring that hand back down. Tuck your toes under, press back for down dog. Either pedaling the feet again, or feeling the heels perhaps get a little bit closer to the floor, to the mat. The priority, though, is your long spine. Lift your opposite leg, stepping through your hands. Bring the back knee down to the mat, low lunge on the opposite side. Spine is long, abdominals are off your front thigh. And keep your abdominals firm as you lift up to press your hands on top of your front thigh. Feeling your abdominals zip in and up, your inner thighs are squeezing together. And we're breathing here into this big hip opening stretch. Bringing your hands back to frame your foot. Keep your one hand down and open, big twist of the torso to your knee. Going to the other side. Breathing here. And bring that hand back to the mat. Tuck your back toes under. Down dog. Lengthening your back. Lengthening the spine. From here, lift the left leg up. Step through. Now stay here for just a moment as you pivot your back foot, getting ready for Warrior Two. Take a quick peek and make sure your front heel is bisecting your back arch. Abdominals are firm as you spiral the arms open for your Warrior Two. And we're staying here with relaxed shoulders. Abdominals are lifting in and up. And your torso is nice and long. Take a quick look at your front knee and make sure you can still see your big toe. So that front knee is pressing open so that your big toe is visible. Both feet are firm. And you're breathing into this big, strong stretch. Straighten the front leg, lift your front arm up to the ceiling and drop the back arm down your back leg. Stretching the front body into our peaceful warrior. One more breath. And come back into Warrior Two. Holding here again for just a moment. And taking hands on hips as you straighten your both legs. Pivot your front foot so all 10 toes face forward. Lift what was your back heel and pivot so that you're now going in the opposite direction, making sure that the heel is bisecting the back arch. You're into Warrior Two on the opposite side. And take a quick look over your front knee. Make any minor little adjustments, making sure the knee is over the ankle, and you can still see your big toe. Long sides of the waist. You're sort of pressing your front thigh open as well as a little bit forward. Abdominals are firm, feet are firm. Breathing into this big strong stretch on the opposite side. One more breath. Straightening both legs, lifting up into peaceful warrior. Big front body stretch. Lifting the front arm to the ceiling. Back arm drops down your leg. Breathing here. And one more time out into Warrior Two. One more breath. Hands on hips, straighten the front leg, pivot your front foot so now all 10 toes are facing forward, and just give a little hop together. Come to sitting on your mat. Legs are going to be wider than hips this time. And if you need to bend your knees to sit up nice and tall with your spine, do that, or you can take a blanket under your hips. Lift your left arm up. We're stretching up and over your right leg. The kneecap and the toes of your legs are facing the ceiling. And come up to the middle, getting taller. Lift the opposite arm, lift the right arm up by your ear, sit as tall as you can, and then you stretch over to the other side. This time, lift up a little bit, rotate your spine so that you can look at your kneecap, take both hands to the floor, and then just begin to walk your hands and upper body to the center. You're sitting nice and tall, lengthening your spine as well as stretching forward. Just go to where it feels like a nice stretch for you. And then walk your hands over to the other side, to the opposite leg. Breathing here. And come back to the center. Walk your hands towards your hips as you roll your spine and sit tall. Bring your legs together, give them a little bit of a shake, and you can spin around to face the long end of your mat. Your legs are long out in front of you, and there's a little space between your legs. Again, if you're feeling tight, I would rather you sit up nice and tall, so just bend your knees a little bit. Lifting your spine again with an inhale. As you exhale, walk your fingers forward towards your heels, and keeping your long spine. Inhale as you lift a little bit more, and the exhale deepens the stretch a little bit more. One more time like that. Inhale, lift, and exhale, deepen. Inhale here, and then exhale, walk your hands back so you're sitting up nice and tall again. Slide a little bit forward so you can have bent knees with your feet flat. Sit up tall and roll back just halfway, pressing your feet into your mat, scooping your navel in. Breathing into your low back one more time here. And then exhale and keep rolling all the way down to the mat. Hugging both knees into your chest, hold behind your knees, and just rock from side to side. Just a nice little massage of the sacrum, massage of the hips. And you can keep doing this, or you can move into happy baby. So come to a center, extend one foot and then the other. You're holding on to your big toe, the ball of the foot, or if that's not accessible, you can also hold on to the back of your thighs. Big stretch of the inner parts of the leg here. So just breathe into that. And you can rock side to side here a little bit. Flexing your feet so you could stamp your foot up onto the ceiling. And one more breath here. And let your legs come back into your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. And then extend both legs onto your mat. Bringing your right knee back into your chest. You can hold behind the thigh again. Give a little stretch towards that shoulder. And you're going to spiral and do a little bit of a twist here. So you're going to take your right knee over your left. And you can kind of slide your hips a little bit to your right to give you some more space. Your right arm is extended on the floor. Just a nice spinal twist. You can come back to center. Give that knee a little bit of a hug. You slide that leg down, shift your hips a little bit to the left, bring your left knee in, give it a little bit of a hug, holding behind the thighs, a little bit nicer for your kneecaps. And then from here, spinal twist on the opposite side. Your left hand is extended outward or upward towards your mat, depending on how big of a stretch is available for you. Make sure you're breathing. Hug both knees in and make sure you are back in the center of your mat. You can rock your hips side to side again and then rock yourself right up to sitting. From here, bring the soles of your feet together for a butterfly stretch. If your feet are more extended away from you, you'll get a bigger stretch on the back of your leg. But if they're closer in, and that's available to you, if they're closer into your pelvis, you're going to get a bigger stretch on the groin and the top of your inner thighs. So you can pick what feels good for you today. Lift yourself up nice and tall and just perhaps stay in that length that you created, or you can move your chest and upper body a little bit more forward to enhance the stretch. But it's not necessary. Sitting up nice and tall can be plenty of stretch for the inner thighs right there. So go where it feels good for you. This is all about tuning into your body, what feels good for you in this particular moment. Wherever you are, your abdominals are still in, your neck is long with the rest of your spine. One more breath here. And sitting up tall, take your hands on the opposite sides of your knees, bring your legs together, and just come into a comfortable seated position. Inhale, lift the arms up, and exhale, press your palms down to the mat, getting a little bit taller. Again, inhale, lifting everything up, and exhale, pressing everything away for one more time. Inhale, lift. This time the hands press together in prayer position, pulling your hands down in front of your heart and sitting up nice and tall. And thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with me, waking up your hips and getting that creative energy back into your body.